Yeah, this Java is already installed in your machine even if you are not installed, because when you are using a software, let's take that might be a PDF reader or some other whatever the tools you are using in your machine, it requires Java software. I'm not saying every software, most of the softwares is using backend Java. So that information is required to run particular software what you are using. And this software is open source and it will be more secure. So that is one of the reason this Java is going to be more popular. And performance wise also it's good compared with other programming languages. So let's get into that Java. So who has invented, when it was invented, what are the versions we have, and how we can do it in our machine to write the program, that we will going to be see in the upcoming slides. So first of all, coming to the Java, if you see this symbol, so this is the symbol of Java. It's cup, hot coffee with a saucer. So this symbol is going to be represent a Java. So I will give you that. So it's history about that why the naming convention has Java, but different people will tell that different kind of stories why this name is coming to that. Okay, but ultimately the story will be similar, more or similar to each of you. So in this introduction session, first of all, who has invented this Java? So if you see this person, his name is James Gausley. So he's one of the team and he's the most uh, key role played developer in the Java. So this particular person was invented, okay, and this Java related programs. If you wanted to know more about this person, you can get into this source, Wikipedia. You can type it James Gosling. So you will get his about his history, like where he is working now, what there was invented at beginning of the Java, why it's get invented, all of them will be having the history about this guy. So let's get into that another thing. What is Java? So Java is a first of all it is everything is object oriented programming language. So what is object and what is class? So this kind of questions might happen in your mind. So class is nothing but it's a template. So template in the sense it will be having a set of instructions, like instructions in the sense if you want to do something, if you list it out all of them, yes, I want to do this job first, the second this one, the line of whatever the lines you are going to write it. So in Java we call it as, let's take this line is a statement. So first statement, second statement, third statement, four, five, likewise. So Java, everything is a statement. So these statements will be part of a class. A class is means a template. That template will have a set of instructions. Instructions means what are the things you have to do to achieve the result. Everything will be in a structure. So that means a class will be there. There is one name will be assigned. Inside it will be having a set of statements. This statements is going to be execute, then it gives the result. So that will be a class. So object means object is anything. When you are going to see in your outside world, a computer is an object, a book is one of the object, animal is the object. So everything is considered as a object. So when you are going to define an object, that should be a some template. So template is nothing but let's take a notebook. notebook will be having? Is it rectangle or square? How many pages are having? Okay, what is the colors of that? Is it ruled notebook or is it white papers? So these are all are the behavior of that notebook. Ultimately, the book is an object. So here, when you are going to talking about object, that should be having some class related. That means a template should be required. So here, when you are talking about Java, class and object is the repeated words in Java. So everything in Java is a object oriented. So before coming to that Java, so how our programming languages are there. So you might heard that C is there, C++ is there, and Java is there, .NET, different kind of programming languages we have. So what is the difference between those programming languages which it was there before Java? What is the significance differences in Java? Let's take C, C++ at backend. Okay, before coming to that Java, there was C, C++ was there. So when you use C, C++, it was having certain limitations. Those limitations are, let's take if you are using a Windows machine. So once you implement the code, it's promoting to Unix. So it will be having issues like it's a platform dependency is there. Let's take a .NET. .NET is only working on Windows machines, not on Unix machines. That is the dependency. But when you come to this Java, it don't have the dependency. That means if you write the program on Windows, you can happily run that same program on Unix machine also. There is no dependency concept with the operating system. That is one of the beauty in Java. And another thing is you can easily readable whatever the line of statements you have written inside the class, you can easily read and understand what is this exactly. And the next thing is it is more understandable, easily maintainable. There's one thing you should remember when you are implementing any of the program, it should be reusable, easily maintainable. So as today you wrote one program and later point someone is going to be maintain that program. That means they are going to add more features. So that program should easily understand to the next developer and they have to be managed easily and enhanceable to that kind of feature it should require. Whatever programming language you're writing, you should maintain well defined programming and neatly writing. It should give a proper naming conventions, everything you have to maintain it properly. So the second point, what I was telling that it's a platform related, like platform independent. Independent in the sense it will run any of the machine. It might be irrespective of what kind of operating system you are using. Result should be giving accurate. Let's take the Windows machine is giving 1 plus 2 is 3 is the output. So the same output should come all the operating systems. Okay, that is the independent. It's not sticking to the one of the operating system. So I'm stressing more about here because this is one of the important point in Java. The next thing is Java is the fast, secure, reliable. So reliable means it's what kind of answer it's going to give it across all the platforms. That is the one. And the programming, whatever the result you are going to see, it will be more faster and secure too. Because whatever the program it is going to run at backend, there is a virtual machine is going to maintain. That is Java virtual machine. It's called as JVM. So when you are running the program, so JVM is going to take up that and it will give it to the hardware. Okay, so how that data exchanging in upcoming slides I will show you that. The next thing is this Java is going to be widely used irrespective of desktops, laptops, and data centers and gamings. Everywhere it a part of Java now. So these many areas it's going to use this Java related. And you might seen that in cell phones. So cell phones will be having same Java versions, but it will be having different kind of. We have three kind of set of Javas will be there. That is JDK, J2EE, and mobile related will be there. J2ME is there. So first JDK will be running on desktops, laptops. J2ME is for it is for enterprise editions. That means it's more updated to the next level of core Java. The next thing is J2ME. J2ME is Java mobile editions. Mobile editions means whatever the software is running on our machine, in our phone, smartphone. So there it's going to be use that software to run the Java related programs. The next thing is the features. Already I covered object oriented related. And the next thing is distributed. Distributed in the sense when you are going to be use it in the internet. Let's take you are using a Zoom application. So this Zoom application, I'm somewhere located. I'm giving the session. You are located somewhere. So you are going to be accessed what I'm going to share it. It's through internet it's giving. That means my machine is going to be share my screen. Whatever I'm going to explain, it's over the network. It's reached to your machine. Similarly, multiple people are going to access the same thing. So one content is going to be distributed among different systems. So this kind of features we call it as a distributed. The next thing is secure. That means whatever information is passing from one channel to another, it should be a secure manner. That means it should not interrupt or it should not be taking what information is passing from machine to another machine. So it should be a secure manner. And already I covered the platform independent, like system independent. The next thing is interpreted. Interpreted is nothing but whatever the program is going to be run at backend, it's going to be take the result. Like let's take different kind of dependencies are there. So those dependencies, how it is going to be execute it, take the result, and embed it into your whatever the program you are going to use it. Then it's compiled at backend, then give the information. The next thing is high performance will be having. And there is another one of the feature is multi-threading concept. So multi-threading in the sense, whatever the task you have, that task is going to be accessed simultaneously with the different operations. Let's take uh, let me take one generic example. So when you are listening in the class, you are listening, and at the same time you are writing the notes and you are seeing. So these are the three tasks is parallelly doing, right? Seeing, listening, and writing. So it's three kind of tasks you are doing at a time. So similarly, in the program side, if you want to get the data from database, so simultaneously multiple requests is going to hit to the database it is taking and giving back to the response. So in this scenario, all the task is nothing but one job. Okay, so this task is going to simultaneously working, and you are giving the means you are getting the response at end of the. So multi-threading scenario, what it is, it's like a task you are doing it simultaneously. You're not going to be wait till get the response to the previous one. Let's take you are doing 10 tasks. The first task is hit. You are not going to wait till first task response, second task is like second request will be hitting, third request 4 5 10. So this all the request is going to be hit it to that database and get back the response and serve it to the application. So likewise, this multiple task is going to do simultaneously. So this kind of things we will achieve it by using thread concepts. So in the upcoming we will learn it. What is threading things? So this is a multi-threading related feature. And we have multiple. I'm not going to be listed all of them. Okay, so you can go through it. I will share it to that where you can see and how you can learn those things. It's mainly everything is at introduction level. Okay, so a programming level when you get in there, I will give you in detail on the programming way. The next thing is how the program is going to be run. If you see here in this diagram, you are going to write a program. So how it you can see the result. One thing you should remember, whatever the program you are going to write, the naming means extension. Extension will be Java. So see here, A, B, C. These are the three kind of classes I have. So A dot Java. See here dot Java. Wherever you see that dot Java, okay, so that code will be readable. So that means you can easily read it. Let me show you one thing. I'm just explaining one thing here. So whatever I'm going to say here, it's A dot Java. So here, earlier I was explaining that statement and class, all of them. So it should be like this: class, hello world. So here it might be statement one, statement two, likewise. See here, if you remember one thing, as I shown that previous slide, it's A dot Java. Java is the extension. Wherever you seen that dot Java, that means it's a Java program. So and A is the file name. And everything, whatever you are writing inside statement one, two, three, so on so, within the braces you are writing. So that means when you are writing any program in the Java, you should write within the braces. So here it's a dot Java is there, right? Whatever the class name you are using, that same name is going to be maintained as a file name. You should be write it like this. Okay, so whatever the file name is having, the similarly class name should maintain likewise. This is one of the standard we should follow everywhere. File name and class name both should be same. And inside the braces you should write the statements. So this one is called it as a source code. Okay, so whatever the code you have written it here, this we call it as a source code. So this source code here, the name is A.java, B.java, C.java. These all are the source codes. This source code we can read it. Just now I shown that example. You can easily read it. Statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. So once you wrote that program, you should give it to the compiler. So where I can get all these things, you don't worry about it. I will explain you how to make the setup at your local. Okay. So in that, once the source code is means prepared by you, then you have to run it in the compiler. Compiler will generate a dot class file. If you see here, it is a dot class, a dot, whatever the name it will be, the similarly dot class will be there. So this you cannot understand. Even if you open it, you cannot read everything like a source code. So this one we call it as a byte code. Wherever you see the dot class, we call it as a byte code. So this byte code only understand by JVM. Okay, so JVM only can understand bytecode. Source code directly, if you pass it to JVM, it will not understand. JVM will say that, hey, I'm not understanding what kind of language it is. JVM can only understand bytecode. Bytecode in the sense it's a dot class file. So this JVM will pass it. Whatever, let's take if source code is giving 1 plus 2, what is the result? So then 1 plus 2 will be compiled, bytecode is generated, that bytecode will pass it to JVM. JVM will understand what is that statement a developer has written. Let's take if it is 1 plus 2. So then that 1 plus 2 will be reading by JVM and giving to the operating system. So this operating system main task is it understand the hardware. Like on, let's take hardware is going to be understand only binary code. So binary code in the sense you might heard already, you might learn it in your academics. Binary code will be 1010 format. So whatever information you are passing from here, hardware will understand only binary format. So this binary format will be given by operating system. So operating system understanding will given by JVM. So this JVM once understand by bytecode only. So this bytecode once you pass it to JVM, JVM will talk to operating system. Operating system will give that same instructions what JVM has given to the hardware. Then you can see the result. So that means at output will be, so whatever the program you are passing here, so in the class it's 1 plus 2. So this result, the finally on the screen, you can see it as a 3. Okay, so this result will be displaying by finally hardware is going to display. This hardware might be your monitor. Okay, so or you are passing to some other machine. Okay, so here hardware you are passing input, right? So input in the sense your keyboard or mouse or monitor, everything is part of the hardware. So these machines is understanding only binary codes. So binary related is 1001 like this. So that information is going to be display on the screen what result you are expecting from your program. So this is what happened at Java. When you pass the program to your Java, the ultimately the result will be appearing like this. Okay, so this is the platform related. The next thing will be we have a different kind of versions. As of today, we are at a JDK 1. Sorry, 17 version. Okay, so we will see that what are the versions we have. Initially, uh, when it was first release was happened, then after that how it's significantly changing this and who is managing now, all these things we will see. Okay, so we have a time stopper now. I hope you might get it some message. Another few minutes is going to be disconnected. Okay, so we will be connecting back right away, then we will continue this one.